Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Tomorrow, the big day that will finally make or break the Ripple case. We're going to get into that, but towards the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you guys the catalyst that I believe needs to occur to drag the SEC to the bargaining table and settle this case once and for all. You guys are definitely going to want to stick around for that. I want to start out here, though, and go over this article. February 17th will make or break the Ripple vs. SEC case. The sealed documents will finally be revealed. Who has been lying in court between the SEC and Ripple regarding whether the latter knew it was selling a security. So for those of you who don't know, the SEC is trying to get a hold of Ripple's early legal memos regarding what their lawyers were telling Ripple regarding the sale of XRP. Whether or not the lawyers were saying you should be careful, whether they thought XRP was a security, wasn't a security. The SEC is trying to get this released so that they can go to the court and say, look, Ripple's lawyers were telling them back in the day XRP might be a security. So why did Ripple go and continue to sell XRP if its own lawyers back in 2012 were trying to tell them that this could one day be seen as a security? The argument makes sense, and I can see why people who haven't been following this case would think this is such a big deal, but I'm going to go show you guys evidence from the court, actually the judge telling us that this really doesn't matter, and I'm also going to show you guys some extremely bullish news out of Ripple that should actually make us very confident about this ruling going forward. So first of all, I want to make this clear, and I was actually on the phone when the judge said this. The judge has already stated the state of mind of Ripple is not an objective measure of fair notice defense. It doesn't matter what their lawyers thought at the time, it only matters what the market was thinking. And what this is essentially saying here, and what the judge has already told us, is it really doesn't matter what Ripple's lawyers thought, or what Ripple thought back in 2012. Because the Securities and Exchange Commission are the ones who make the rules regarding whether something's a security or not. Therefore, even if Ripple and their lawyers might have thought that XRP could be a security, they have no way of knowing how the SEC would make their decisions 5 years later down the road. Therefore, it doesn't really matter what Ripple thought at the time, because if the SEC was going to come out 5 years later and say, oh, by the way, we don't see any cryptocurrencies as securities, then it wouldn't have mattered what Ripple thought, because the end decision wasn't going to be made by them either way. So we already know that the judge has dismissed the idea that this is going to be any kind of game-changing, ground-shattering ruling that we're going to be seeing tomorrow. But one thing that this article doesn't take into account is the fact that we've actually already heard a statement from Ripple's lawyers regarding this. Stuart Alderati said when the documents are released, they will show that in 2012, Ripple received a legal analysis that XRP was not a security or an investment contract. This is huge, because now this, rather than going against Ripple, is going to show us that Ripple was actually just doing what they thought, based on their legal advice, was the right thing. They received a legal analysis from lawyers saying, look, XRP does not meet the investment prongs of the Howey test. Therefore, we think it is fine if you sell XRP. And because we have not seen any action out of the SEC or any regulators to say otherwise, it is our best assumption that you selling XRP is appropriate in the market. So, as we can see, it is very likely that tomorrow is going to be a great day for Ripple. We are likely going to find out that this entire time they have been being as responsible as possible and simply trying to figure out what the SEC would one day down the road make its policy to be. But what we do also understand is that this is no way a make or break moment, and if anything, it's just going to show that Ripple has been trying to be as responsible as possible throughout its entire history as a company. I want to keep moving though and really get into what I believe. If tomorrow is not the day that all these media organizations are saying it's going to be, what is? What is finally going to change this case and make it take a turn to advance things forward and bring one side to the bargaining table? Well, I was responding to a tweet the other day. It said, are you suspecting something essentially that will make or break a trend in this case, essentially end the stalemate? And I said the SEC is refusing to hand over any information regarding Hinman. Until they are forced to take action, they will keep delaying. The real question right now is how far they will go to protect Hinman. And currently in this case right now, the SEC is getting granted extension after extension after extension. They are delaying because they do not have any evidence. So the only way that they can negotiate this case right now is not by bringing facts to the table, but rather by hurting Ripple a different way, and that is by stalling. The SEC can drag this case out as long as it possibly can and take very little damage. But Ripple is a company paying a ton of lawyers. They want to IPO, they want to deal with companies in the US, so they are incentivized to end this thing as soon as possible. So what the SEC is doing right now is saying, well, we have all this bad stuff going against us right now. It is not looking good. But the one thing we can do, and do effectively, is delay. So the SEC is hanging on to their last negotiating tactic right now, and that is to keep delaying this case. So until they are forced to not delay the case, we are not going to see anything move forward. And we really need to see the SEC, we need to see the court bend the SEC's knee and say, make a choice. What are you going to do? Are you going to hand over these documents, or are you not going to? And until that happens, it's really hard to assess what the next step forward is, but I do not believe tomorrow is going to be the make or break day unless the SEC decides they want to hand over some documents early. Let me know down in the comments if you think that's going to happen. Let's keep going though, and I wanted to show you guys this this quote right here from Stuart Alderati. I showed you guys yesterday in my video a very similar tweet that I put out, essentially saying that I believe a lot of what we're watching was staged from the start. What the court and what the government wanted to do was essentially create a scenario where they went after one of the best, one of the strongest companies in crypto, throw everything they had at them, charge fraud, charge illegal ICO for entire history, charge that the token was a security, put every single charge on the table, and then hash it all out. Figure out the most important issues in crypto in one single case, and then use that as the foundation to build off of. Well, if we take a look at this quote from Stuart Alderati, in 2015, the US government concluded that XRP was virtual currency. Last I checked, the SEC is still part of the US government. Goodbye, Howey test. Hello, Ripple test. And I thought this was just perfectly said. We already know that the government does not think XRP is a security. They've made that clear in the FinCEN ruling. So why are we watching this all right now take place? Well, it is very obvious, to me at least, that there are aspects of selling a cryptocurrency that do fall under a security. We've already seen that lending products could, and go by old rules, be incorporated into the Howey analysis. We also know that the sale of many cryptocurrencies could be called a security sales, even if the cryptocurrency itself is not a security. These issues, what I'm trying to say, are extremely complex, and as much as we all hate the SEC, they're going to have to play a part in this industry if a new regulator is not made. If the SEC is going to play a part, they need to have rules, or else they're just going to keep going rogue like they are right now. The rules are being defined right now in this case we're watching. We are watching the Ripple test, and Ripple is currently fighting for all of crypto to see how much influence the SEC is going to have over this industry. There is no doubt in my mind that is exactly what we are watching happen. And yes, I understand there was corruption with Ethereum. There was all this other stuff that went on, but that can all be true, as well as we could be watching the formation of a hallmark case that will define the rules of crypto going forward. I wanted to show you guys this, and I've talked about this a lot on my channel, and this was an article from 2018, essentially outlining the Ripple Labs case with the SEC, and I just could not believe that people were talking about this case before it was even announced publicly. It seemed like it was always going to happen, and a quote from this that I thought was extremely interesting: "We may be back with our friends from the Treasury and the Federal Reserve and ask for additional legislation. Until then, we eagerly await to see what the courts will say." Specifically talking about the Ripple SEC case, it seems like to me a lot of people knew this case was going to happen, and it was going to be used to define the rules for crypto going forward. Last of all, if you guys do not appreciate being used as a bargaining chip for the rules of crypto going forward, make sure to hold the SEC accountable. I cannot tell you guys how pissed off senators probably are when they look at their DMs and see thousands of investors all complaining about the SEC, begging for help, saying that they are being attacked by an organization that is supposed to protect them.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.